time to cram for chemistry paper 1, so here are 5 memory tricks for electrolysis. The first is for the type of electrodes you can have. Use panic to remind you that positive electrodes are known as the anode and the negative electrode is known as the cathode. The second trick is for the type of electrolyte used. You can either have a molten or aqueous electrolyte. Use the T in molten to get the word 2, which reminds you that these types of electrolytes contain 2 types of ions. You can figure them out by using the name of the compound. So for example, molten sodium chloride contains sodium ions and chloride ions. For aqueous electrolytes, also known as solutions, use the QU to get the word quadrilateral. This is a 4-sided shape, and this reminds you that these types of electrolytes usually contain 4 types of ions. So for sodium chloride in solution, this would be the sodium ions and chloride ions, but also hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions, which come from the water in the solution. The third memory trick is for the type of reaction of the electrodes. Use O-Arac to remind you that oxidation occurs at the anode and reduction occurs at the cathode. The fourth is oil rig, which reminds you what these reactions mean. Oxidation is the loss of electrons, whereas reduction is the gain of electrons. And the fifth memory trick is for working out the products formed at the electrodes for aqueous electrolytes with 4 ions. Use HALC to remind you that the halogen is formed at the anode when present, and the less reactive element is formed at the cathode. So for aqueous sodium chloride, the chloride ion goes to the anode instead of the hydroxide ion, as it's a halogen. This forms chlorine gas, and at the cathode the hydrogen ions go instead of the sodium, as hydrogen is less reactive than sodium. This forms hydrogen gas.